So some interesting information came out. We know that Microsoft is going through it right now, and it looks like maybe this was something that was inadvertently leaked or possibly leaked to some influencers to kind of get people talking about anything else other than the third-party multi-platform approach that Xbox might be taking with its games, which we're going to find more out about next week, which I already covered in an earlier video. First off, I want to cover something really quickly because some people have asked and think that maybe I'm quote-unquote switching or flip-flopping to PlayStation, and there's no need to do that, right? Like, if you're an Xbox fan, wait and see what they have to say, and then, you're going to have to decide for yourself. This generation is going to be this generation regardless. So at the end of the day, people have to decide for themselves what they want to do. For me, I have a little bit higher stake in this than anybody else that I know because I have so many games, digital games, and all this kind of stuff. So I'm kind of worried about losing that stuff. So yes, I am holding off on buying anything new, and we'll have to take it from there. But it's not like I'm just going to go throw my Xbox away and hop on PlayStation all the time. It doesn't really work like that. Sorry, folks. I'm trying my best not to be doom and gloom. I'm hoping that the fan outcry was enough to get them to change courses. There's rumors that there's a possibility that they are definitely rethinking this and trying to appease people, which again always kind of weirded me out that they wanted to tell us that they don't care if we buy Xboxes and they're not worried about selling Xboxes and then complain when they're not selling Xboxes. I don't make that make sense. I'm not saying they're perfect by any means, but this was very interesting that came out, and I think this could work as long as you had some exclusive content. Next generation Xbox to launch in 2 SKUs. A cheaper SKU will be a dockable handheld capable of playing games natively. So sort of like the Switch. I think that could actually be a boss thing for Microsoft to do. The next generation Xbox potentially releasing 2 different SKUs, and the cheaper one will be a Nintendo Switch-like handheld that's going to be able to play Xbox games natively while also supporting some cloud gaming aspects. Speaking during a podcast, a insider commented on the Microsoft leak and the console, saying that it's still on track for a 2026 release and that it will launch in 2 different SKUs. The most expensive SKU will be a traditional game console like Xbox Series X, while the cheapest SKU will be a dockable handheld in the vein of the Nintendo Switch, created by the Surface team with built-in controls and a touchscreen supporting cloud gaming that is capable of running Xbox games natively. As Microsoft's strategy seems to be changing drastically over the past few consoles, over the generation to generation, it wouldn't be a surprise to see the company attempt to expand into the handheld market. Despite this, take everything with a grain of salt until, they actually reveal something. If Microsoft is indeed going third-party, releasing some of its best exclusives, like Starfield, Gears of War series, Hi-Fi Rush, Indiana Jones, and others on PlayStation, one has to really wonder about what sort of appeal another console by Microsoft could have, with other rumors saying Microsoft could be lagging behind Sony in the next generation of consoles themselves. There's a lot of uncertainty around it, and it's unlikely to be completely addressed next week when the company provides updates on future strategy. So what they mean by, unlikely to be kind of updated is we'll probably hear some stuff, but I can imagine them saying something along the lines of still going to use a case-by-case basis type situation. I don't know exactly what the thought process of that is, but to me, you can't put your stuff on this, because think about this for a second, right? And I think this could work. You have something out there that's competing with the Nintendo Switch. You're going to need exclusive games. Sony is also doing a portable platform. If Xbox and PlayStation both have portable platforms out, Xboxes, you're going to be able to play Xbox games. PlayStations, you'll be able to play PlayStations and Xboxes. Which one do you think is going to get, picked up more and become popular? There is literally no reason for Microsoft to do hardware next generation if they plan on putting their games on PlayStation right now. And I know, listen, I saw the fanboy stuff, like the comments, people crying, blah, 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 whatever. Listen, just from my aspect, it doesn't have anything to do with people not playing their games or whatever, playing the games, or more people playing the games. It all has to do with the next step. So the next step for Microsoft, after being, a company that's releasing all their stuff as a third party, would be stopping the consoles completely, to which point, if Microsoft, they're not going to continue to support things. So like the digitally locked licenses on the hardware, if the ecosystem dies, so does all the content, all the save files, all that stuff. People are very much overlooking this. They don't understand the ramifications of this. So yes, there's the competition aspect where we look at it and we go, okay, Microsoft needs to be competitive with Sony so that Sony doesn't get the chance to, do whatever the hell they want. And I'm just being honest, nobody is going to buy a next gen Xbox if there's no console exclusives, right? And 6 months, 12, it isn't going to do the trick. Like, you're going to see mass people leave, and I'm not even talking about myself, but you will see massive amounts of people leave the platform, not be, and they'll cancel their Game Pass subscriptions, all this kind of stuff. You have to, when you promise people stuff, which Phil Spencer did, you have to stick by that promise. I think, going into a situation where you are going to absolutely kind of have a platform, you have to have something that separates it from everybody else. So I think that's where Microsoft is really kind of, kind of struggling. And I think that not everybody wants to go this route that they're doing. And I think that's why we ended up hearing about, some of this stuff that has kind of cropped up. I think that it was leaked intentionally, and I think Microsoft will clearly address it one way or the other. Whether or not you believe it, I think that's on each of us. But I think in a world where they have exclusives, could you imagine, Halo on the go? And these are your same games. I mean, they're not going to be the same fidelity as, say, the next Xbox on a console, but you could definitely shrink down to Xbox Series S and have something along those lines, man, playing Gears of War on the go, Halo on the go, and I think the best part about that is you'd be able to take your Game Pass with you, whatever the case may be for that, take your Call of Duty with you, and I think that, if they can keep the cost down enough, you could be competitive with whatever Nintendo's doing and things like that, and have a better platform. Because I know everybody was like, oh man, the Steam Deck is so amazing, it's so great, it's doing so well, and then you look and it sold 3 million units. That's not exactly lighting the world on fire, but those things are rather expensive, $400, $500, $600, $700. If Microsoft can come in at $350 with a handheld, digital handheld or whatever, I think that would be great. It doesn't need to be more than 1080p, dockable, all that kind of stuff. I think that's great. They probably will do it for $350, $399, somewhere in there, and I think that could be quite successful at luring in, a good amount of players and things like that. So, one of those things, like I said, it's very curious because this only works if you have consoles, if you have exclusives as well. So, again, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I for one am kind of just chilling. I know some people are freaked out. I know people thought that maybe I was gonna flip out and be like, oh, screw Microsoft. No, I'm not doing any of that. It's just look, I'm a grown person. Yes, maybe expressing that we're disappointed and this sucks makes them change their mind. Sometimes higher ups in suits need to see the reaction. Microsoft stock took a hit from what happened the other day. So I don't know, maybe it's good. What do you guys think though? Would you guys be interested in the more powerful Xbox? Would you guys be more interested in the handheld Xbox that looks like it could be a thing from the Surface team? I'm very curious. All signs are pointing to this thing being kind of legit, being pretty innovative if you ask me. Let me know. Thanks for watching. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.